Hi, my name is Rebecca. I am from Texas and from Maryland. I'm trying to think of a few words to describe myself. I'm a very quiet person. Not that I don't like talking much. I just don't talk much. I'm more of a listening kind of person. I'm, well, I'm not very much on opening things like about myself, not talking. I'm a very private person. Um, and I'm also a very stubborn person. I know those things don't normally mix, but it's kind of how I would describe myself. um, Doing the journals is kind of interesting because I don't like to open up about things that are going on in my life or just kind of what I'm thinking, nor in the sense of what I'm feeling. But like the first 2 weeks, it was just kind of stressful things, um, or negative emotions. That's really what it was. I was stressed and tired and nervous about all the things that I had to do. Like with the first week, I had something to do every single night. There was just no rest. And I had to do my responsibilities, so I just pushed through it. But it was just like overload and overkill. So I try to take minor rests by watching a little bit of Netflix or just trying to game for a couple minutes. And it worked for a little bit. What I ended up doing is just making myself more tired the next day and more overwhelmed just because I made myself think that I needed a break at that moment. And I did need a break, but perhaps it was just more about picking the right time to find rest. I know with the second week, it was another busy week, and I was just more nervous because I had to do a presentation. Being a part of a choir, we have to give nicknames to our littles, and I had a little this year, or this semester, and I had to present why I chose a nickname for her and what it meant and everything. And public speaking is not my forte. I mean, I can get up there, I can talk, but I get so nervous, and like I just don't like doing it too often. Um, but I also had to plan a surprise party for my brother, and I was just making sure that everyone would get here on time, not say a word because people like to talk. And my brother's really quick at figuring things out. So I was just kind of nervous about all that. Then, surprisingly, for the final week, I felt rested. And the reason I felt rested was because of fall break. And I know that's kind of like a duh, but for fall break, because I'm a part of a choir, we tend to tour. And we were in Atlanta, and I got sick, and I couldn't even sing that night. And I just felt, I don't know how to describe it, just so overwhelmed over my body and like just sick. I could barely stand. Or, I mean, I don't know, it was hard. Um, but, like the next day, I went home just because I could not carry on with the tour. And I spent the rest of the week, or weekend, during fall break, just in my apartment trying to recuperate. And it helped, honestly, as much as I wanted to be on tour. I needed that break after 2 weeks or more than a couple weeks of being stressed. And I think that was just my body's way of saying, hey, stop. We can't take it anymore. You need a rest because you're gonna just you know. So it really helped, honestly. And I realized that I need to make more time to rest, not just little itty bits of time during the week, but really set up like a longer time, maybe during the weekend or some part of the week where I can fully rest. So one of the activities that I ended up doing was just taking a couple hours on Saturday, honestly, and it worked. I felt relaxed because I was decorating my room, and I was making a collage of Texas because I love Texas so much. And it was just something nice about cutting the pictures and putting them in their little squares. And I enjoyed it. It was relaxing, even just trying to put them on the wall. It was just a small task that I normally wouldn't think would help me feel so relaxed, but it did. And so I feel like if I find time to do small things like that, it'll help me relax a little more. Maybe that's just a person that I am, that I'm like putting things in their corner or somehow, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. This thing, the way it makes me see my emotions is that I tend to have a lot of negative emotions, or at least project negative emotions. But I think that's just because I try to do what I have to do, and then I'm concentrating on everything else, and I'm not really concentrating on what I'm feeling, or even just really thinking about myself. You know, things have to be done, so I'm going to get it done. I like to think that I'm doing well, but then if I don't, I start stressing out about all that. So I keep adding stress when stress is being added on its own. And like, I need to find a way to stop doing that, you know? But it's hard. I mean, like, the taking time to have those breaks helps, but, you know, it's kind of, it'll be a while before I start making it a real habit. I think that's what I need to do. And, like, I don't want to have negative emotions, obviously. Nobody wants to have those, but it happens. And so I also want to to learn something from that, you know? If I am feeling nervous, I want to figure out why I'm feeling nervous, or how do I stop being nervous. And I think that was kind of the point of this whole exercise. And it did help for a little bit. I just have to find a way of getting used to it, you know? I don't know, like, I feel like when you hear me talk, it's just kind of like a lot of obvious things that are coming out of my mouth, right? But I don't know. I feel like I did learn a lot, and I want to learn more about how I can control my emotions. You know, I'm not very expressive out here. I'm more expressive in my mind, and I feel like the most expression I give out here is eye rolls. That's what I do all the time. But I don't know. Like, I like to consider that I do have emotions, and I mean, I don't know, I guess if I don't take the time to understand my emotions, should I really expect other people to take the time to understand what I'm feeling? You know, kind of all connects together. And I don't know, I just hope that I can find other ways to, you know, relax, or even during the stressful times, find ways to just push on, like find ways, just little pieces of strength or little pieces of hope to push onward. And I hope I can continue doing that. I mean, I know it'll always be a struggle, but I mean, you gotta try sometime, right?